Hello everyone, Dekzeh here, back with another narration for the CALLOUS Invitational. This is round 4 lower bracket. I think I've narrated a dice game in the past, like Really Good Guy. I feel like neither of those players need an introduction at this point. Last round dice lost to Felix and McMeghan lost to Fakes, if my memory is correct. So interesting, both players lost to German players. That really doesn't mean anything, but it's a just funny little thing to know. So let's just go into the match. We see Tyranitar lead from McMeghan, Blissey. Blissey lead has been so common in this tournament. And, like, it's okay. The thing is, it doesn't get you enough momentum, but it doesn't give momentum to anything else. It kind of does to Tyranitar, but you are usually, like, safe to switch into it if you're leading Blissey. Yeah, but this, like, doesn't really tell me much. It does tell me that Dice probably doesn't have a better lead. So probably no Zapdos, probably no Terminator is what I imagine. We see a switch out into Fortress, expecting a Bulky Water or a Metagross, really good play. And no spikes. I guess we're scouting for an HP Fire Metagross there. I mean, I can see that, but just get the spike down, I don't know. Toxic Milo. So Toxic, Milo, Fortress, Tyranitar, and Blissey and Meta. And yeah, it is a Sing Blissey this time. I've been saying whenever I see a lead Blissey, I'm expecting Sing. And it's finally a Sing Blissey. So huge miss, but that's what Sing is like. This miss doesn't matter as much, although it means that Dice doesn't get the free switch that he would have gotten had he hit the Sing. So now we finally see Fortress back in on Metagross as a free spike now. Nice. I wonder if this is Flamethrower or just trying to go for the Sing. McMeghan's just gonna scout it, play it safe. Get Celebi, go for the Leech Seed. So McMeghan's team look like something that UD would use. I'm like half expecting a Steelix in there. Yeah, this just like look at this build. It just looks like something UD would run. See a Skarmory on Celebi, Fortress is safe. That could easily be a ghost for Dice, but it's like 50-50, I would imagine. We see Rapid Spin and Blissey is back in. Dice keep sending Blissey against the Fortress. Either just threatening to Sing. Oh, we see the Steelix, that's funny. Or like trying to represent. No, I guess there's nothing to represent. He has shown all 4 moves. It's Ice Beam, Seismic Toss, Sing, Soft Boiled. McMeghan staying in with the Asleep Steelix is kind of weird there. So Dice hasn't shown a good way to actually force out the Milo here. I imagine he's gonna like, oh, get the freeze. Well, that certainly helps. I was gonna say that he's gonna try to get Skarmory in on like a recover or refresh turn. And we see a Starmie. So Dice does have a spinner here. And Milo stays frozen. Tyranitar hard in on the Starmie, I guess expecting a Thunderbolt or a Rapid Spin. That does show it's like a bulk Tyranitar and a defensive Starmie, and we see Heracross switching on the crunch. It's leftovers, so that's interesting. Leftovers Focus Punch. Is that like Swords Dance 3 attacks? That thing used to be popular, but then just kinda died out. I mean, it was popular like 10 years ago. Oh, it's Counter Fortress and Sub Heracross. Sub Focus Punch Leftovers is so cool. It's really not seen that often. And it's really putting in a lot of work here against McMeghan. The thing is, it can't kill here outside of Focus Punch, right? But it does get a free sub and a free Focus Punch. Steelix has only a State Sleep for 1 turn. So, yeah, it doesn't get the Wake here. It should just die. It doesn't. Wow, Steelix is so bulky. This Heracross looks bulky, though. The damage is still low considering the Focus Punch. And, yeah, 3 turns sleep for Steelix. That's just Sing. Sing is just such a... I don't know how to put it. Such a dumb move. Let's just go with dumb. And the Heracross just going wild here. I guess it's very unfortunate that Milo is frozen, because Milo kinda beats this Heracross, right? I wonder if we run Guts or Swarm here. But yeah, look at the damage from status. It would take like half from Focus Punch. So Milo could maybe, I mean, maybe not counter, but it's probably the best thing that McMeghan has to handle it. Also, the Steelix would have been okay had it not got put to sleep. And yeah, I mean, very dominating. Like, it's really cool when you see a niche set like that Heracross set, which is just not popular, putting so much work. I wonder what's the last move there. I guess you could run Rock Slide or like Brick Break. Yeah, it's hard to say. But yeah, this game is over, right? There's no way McMeghan's coming back from this. That Heracross was just so much. And yeah, really, really cool team from DICE. I mean, I'm not approving this Sing Bliss, but I can see how good it is in this shell. The thing is, you get a lot of opportunities to click Sing, right? You can see that DICE used Sing 3 times, at least. And he only needs to get it once on Steelix. You see Light Screen Celebi. Wow. That's a funny little tech. I guess it's pretty good against Suicune and Jirachi that are going like rampant right now. But yeah, now Fortress back on Metagross. Doesn't Salamence just win? I mean, Celebi is annoying. Like, we're always trying to put up a fight. But I don't think that it matters at this point. Yeah, okay, now Salamence wins. You break here, you Fire Blast the Fortress, and that's GG. You don't even need to Fire Blast, it's so low anyways. Yeah, very dominating. Cool, very cool to see the Heracross putting so much work. Very, very cool. How good of a set is this, though? Like, I guess you have the element of surprise. And it's very hard for it to not get at least one kill. Alright, let's go into game 2 here. Also, like, whoever loses this is out of the tournament, by the way. 2 amazing players, and one of them is just going home. Alright, game 2. McMeghan still at the bottom, DICE on the top. The 2 most common leads facing each other. And we see a Rock Slide. That's just leftover Starvanitar. And oh, nice double Rock Slide by Tai. Wow, really good play there. We see Dekzeh in the back, but it should leave. It doesn't. Unlucky. That double to Zapdos is a thing that I would do on DICE's loss, so I totally get it. It's so good for momentum. Especially because maybe DICE's team doesn't have a good way to handle spikes. So you don't want to give the free spikes on like Skarmory switching on Metagross. Because Zapdos covers all the common switches in on Metagross. It covers like Bulky Waters, it covers the Spikers. It kinda covers Jirachi, but not really. And it covers opposing Metagross as well. We see Hypnosis Will-O-Wisp Gengar. It puts the Metagross to sleep and it tries to get a Will-O-Wisp on the switch. DICE just going hard on the sleep moves. The low accuracy Sing, game 1. Now the low accuracy Sing. And he literally says in chat, okay, I deserve that. And I couldn't agree more. We see Tormentor being faster but failing to kill, and then he leaves the meteor match. How do I feel about this game? This game is just going by so fast and I can't even keep up. Starmie here is looking very good though. DICE looking to have like a Salamence last, I imagine. And for McMeghan, probably, I don't know, like, could be a Gengar, but it's just something fast. Could be even a Doug Trio, I imagine. Could also be a Jirachi. It seems to always be less Mon Jirachi in these tournaments nowadays. And yeah, I'm guessing this Gengar is just like completely weird. Hypnosis will always boom something, is what I would guess. As we see, Hypnosis on Sing. So, yeah. They are going really hard on the low accuracy sleep moves. And I can't even blame you because the payoff is so huge. Sleep is just so good. And having stuff that can click it a lot of times. Okay, we do see Doug Trio. And Jirachi was DICE's last mon. Does it kill? It does not. But that should be in Zapdos range. Assuming Zapdos is faster. And even if it isn't, it should leave one hit unless it gets crit. We see Zapdos get leftovers first. Gengar is in, but at this point I feel like even if you explode one here, Blissey beats the other, or if you explode on Blissey, Zapdos beats the other. I guess you can like sleep Zapdos and then explode on the Blissey, something like that. Okay, you put Blissey to sleep. Do you just go Jirachi here? And try to get a nice punch freeze? I imagine that's the play. No double to Zapdos there by McMeghan. which makes some sense. I wonder what's the Gengar set. See a nice punch trying to catch a switch there. And McMeghan is content to sitting here and pray for a wake up. It's 3 turns, 4 turns, so he should wake up now. Oh, it's sub. I mean, Blissey should still win bearing Ice Punch luck, right? But Dice gets some opportunities. He goes for the Thunder. Was Thunder better than Ice Punch there? I feel like Ice Punch is just give you better odds. But it's close. We see Gengar in. Jirachi doesn't have enough HP to get a sub. But you go Jirachi here. If Blissey stays asleep. Wow, this end game is wild. And it's just because of the sleep moves. Dice tries to call out the Zapdos switch there. But McMeghan is very content to stay in and count on sleep turns not being terrible to him. And he gets it. He wakes up, soft boils it up. Dice just has to go for the freeze now, right? Back to Gengar on the seismic toss. Roro didn't count the switch. Could have Ice Beam there. But at this point it's like very, very low incentive for him to like try making plays like that. And McMeghan gets the freeze. Now this should be a good game. Unless the Jirachi goes wild. Gets a nice punch freeze here. Does not. McMeghan ties up the series. Man. Hypnosis, Sing, and such. I don't even know how to feel about those moves. There's like... They swing games so much. The difference between missing a move and getting like a 5-turn sleep. It's just... It's not even the same game at that point. And you're just like risking it all on a 60%. And then there are like the odds on the sleep turns. It's just so out of the player's control. It feels really bad to use them. And it feels even worse to be on the receiving end. And like this series here has been a really good showcase of why there's like some people who are really, really strongly against sleep moves. They want them banned and stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna give my opinion on this subject. I don't even have an opinion. But yeah, they're just super swingy moves. They change the game completely based on do they hit, do they miss, do you get a fast sleep, do you sleep for the maximum amount of turns. And this game was wild. So series is 1-1. Let's see what's game 3 like. We will see another Sing, Blissey, we will see some Hypnosis stuff. McMeghan on the bottom, Dice on the top, Tyranitar Mirror. Both switch out? No, Dice stays in an Earthquakes. That... I was gonna say it's most likely choice band, but I guess it's not. So Dragon Dance, Rock Slide does like decent damage, it flinches. Not a great start for McMeghan here, but he'll manage. Dodges the flinch, gets the roar off, and reveals Jirachi for Dice. So Jirachi is not something you usually want to reveal early. Unless it's defensive Wish Protect, which it could be here. Oh, it's Fire Punch, HP fighting, but he gets crit. That's huge. That's huge. That Jirachi looked like it would be such a threat to deal with and just got crit. We see Zapdos to force out the Tyranitar in a double to Skarmory, trying to get layers down. But it's met by a Fire Punch in Jirachi, which gets the burn. So McMeghan getting the best of the RNG early on, at least. Nice double by Dice there to prevent Skarmory from getting spikes and applying pressure. Zapdos plus spikes looks to be very annoying to McMeghan's team because especially defense Jirachi, it seems to be his best answer, and it's not really that great of an answer. We see Zomper trying to pivot and bait in an HP Grass, most likely trying to get Jirachi in safely, and the pivot here is safe because Zomper gets leftovers back to full alongside Protect. We see Skarmory back in on a Surf, so no respect for HP Grass there. Which is fair, like most people, even if they have it, wouldn't go for it. And Dice just sacrifices the Skarmory for the second layer. Maybe he's trying to make a call that McMeghan does not have a spikes, or maybe he trusts his Gengar to spin block. As we just see a Will-O-Wisp there on a Lumberry Tyranitar, but it just dies here. And we see that it does have Giga Drain, so McMeghan will have to respect that. I'm not sure if you want to reveal Giga Drain there over like any other move, right? Because maybe McMeghan doesn't respect it later and stays with Swampert on Gengar. We see Gengar on Gengar and a Thunderbolt coming on Zapdos way. That deals very little damage, so this indicates to me a bulky Gengar and not the most offensive of the Zapdos. Surf on the Roar Dead, like just as I said, you don't usually go for HP Grass even if you have it. That Surf damage does indicate to me this is not max specially defensive Zapdos though. And specially defensive Jirachi seems to be a decent enough check, but Spikes plus Roar will add up over time. I wonder if this is a rest Zapdos. It looks to be a rest Zapdos the way DICE is playing this, which is going to be very annoying for McMeghan to deal with. His team is already very soft to Zapdos, and like one that can just last for the entire match, rest up, roar around, abuse spikes, it's going to be painful. We see a Body Slam does not get the paralyzes. Unfortunate, but it's just what it is. So we will see a rest here. I think McMeghan is calling the rest. Yeah, it is rest. So it's rest, Thunderbolt, roar. I imagine Sleep Talk is the last move, but it could just be HP Grass. Yeah, it is Sleep Talk, and we see a roar. So that Zapdos is just gonna be a pain in the ass for McMeghan here. He seems to be running like a Superman, like a modern Superman style thing. So I imagine his last Pokemon is also a Levitating. It could be Flygon, but if it was Flygon, he would have sent it on the Zapdos long ago. So maybe Aerodactyl or Salamence would be my guesses here. And DICE actually has a similar shell, right? With like Tyranitar, Jirachi, Skarmory, and Gengar, and like a flying Pokemon. So no spinner from either, just abusing flying types and levitate to play around spikes as best as you can. And it's not really working great for McMeghan here because that Zapdos is putting in work just thanks to the spikes. Okay, so we see Swampert for out the Zapdos, and the Zapdos didn't get to use a Sleep Turn because it's Sleep Talk, then that thing is glitching this generation. See Gengar going for the Will-O-Wisp there. I wonder if this is Refresh Pert. Either way, he has to respect the Giga Drain, which is why I wonder if maybe DICE could have revealed any other move other than Giga Drain to try and get it. Like, try to get Swampert to stay in, you know? But maybe Giga Drain is his only attacking move with some sort of like Will-O-Wisp, Giga Drain, Explosion, something else. Could also be the case. So let's see if DICE just wastes the Sleep Turn or goes for the Sleep Talk here. Oh, never mind, he just wakes up. Oh yeah, he Sleep Talked twice there, I missed that. Look at that damage, like Swampert just doesn't deal damage to the Zapdos. And like, how does McMeghan kill this? You can explode the Gengar, like that's one way. Jirachi won't do it. You just get roared around and around and around. And like, Pert is just slowly losing health. And we see Salamence last. Kind of what I expected. It's a Dragon Dancer. We see a Thunderbolt. Oh, that looks like a massive threat here. Tyranitar should leave one from full. Most Tyranitars do. We see a Flygon last from DICE. So yeah. Just playing around spikes by having Levitators and Flyers. And like Jirachi and Tyranitar are the only ones that take spikes damage there. So it's a bulky Flygon. Very similar builds, by the way. That nearly kills. Wow, I feel like if McMeghan Dragon Dance on the Protect there, he just won. But he gets Toxic now. And yeah, I mean, he maybe gets one more kill, but do just Earthquake here call out the Tyranitar switching? Nope. I'm glad I'm not playing because I probably would have gone for that. Okay. This seems to be a big turn. I feel like Salamence is the remaining threat here to DICE's team because Gengar plus Zapdos kinda handle everything else. I mean, mainly just Zapdos, honestly. So, do you have to make a call here? And like, try to get in Gengar or Zapdos on an Earthquake? Wow, this turn is so big. Do you need Tyranitar? I mean, if you can save it, it's good, but I feel like I would just Earthquake here and try to kill this Tyranitar. And just try to play the 5v2. But the thing is, despite being 5v2, like McMeghan will have 5 Pokemon and DICE only 2, I don't think McMeghan would have the advantage. The Salamence is dying, so it's like a 4v2 actually. The Gengar is good. Maybe the Gengar... Yeah, maybe you gotta save the Tyranitar so you can play around Gengar exploding on the Zapdos. But you have the Gengar for that. Gonna be a really close one. Just dice is content to sacrifice the Tyranitar there. And go back to the Zapdos. I feel like this comes down to does Roro have Explosion and does he get it on the right turn. So, like, you can roar out the Jirachi here, right? Or just go for the Thunderbolts. Jirachi gets paralyzed. Wow, so the burn on Skarmory early on was so big because he only managed to get 2 layers. If he didn't get burned, he probably got all 3. And then Jirachi and Zapdos, which are the only Zapdos checks, are no longer Zapdos checks. So very unfortunate by Dice there. Although, like, he did get the Rock Slide flinch early on, and that also kinda matters. Are we gonna see more from this Gengar now? We see the Giga Drain, we already knew we had that though. We also know he has Will-O-Wisp. The Jirachi is paralyzed, so... Okay, we see another Giga Drain, so he has used 3. That could be relevant, because if it's out of Giga Drains ever, Swampert probably beats it. And McMeghan gets his Skarmory burn. That doesn't really matter. This probably means the Gengar does not have Fire Punch or Thunderbolt. So I'm guessing like Giga Drain, Ice Punch, Will-O-Wisp, Explosion. Maybe Taunt on this move or on this team. Skarmory is dead here. Skarmory was not an important Pokemon in this endgame. That Zapdos, man. That Zapdos is so rough for McMeghan from the get-go. We see Will-O-Wisp from McMeghan's Gengar, so he has shown Thunderbolt and Will-O-Wisp. I feel like it comes down probably to this. Like, well, does it even? Like, if you exploded here, Jirachi probably 1v1s the Gengar. Probably. Not guaranteed, but probably, because it's slow. You could also, like, Thunderbolt expecting a Gengar switch in, expecting the boom, and then you kill the Gengar. You could just, like, Ice Punch the Zapdos here, but just die to a Thunderbolt, and from there Zapdos wins. Destiny Bond, so that's not Explosion, but it's similar enough. So it probably doesn't have Explosion. The difference is, like, Destiny Bond is more or less riskless there, because you don't risk exploding on an immunity and just losing your Gengar, right? So there's not enough risk compared to Explosion in spamming Destiny Bond. Good decision there by Dice to not Sleep Talk, so we don't risk Destiny Bond on a Sleep Talk Thunderbolt. And that Zapdos is just gonna roar out everything. And if that Jirachi like ever gets super paralyzed, it's probably over. See Swampert. I guess we just stay in here. Get roared, and like whatever gets healed, it's good. This is close. I feel like Zapdos wins eventually. But like, it has wasted half of its Thunderbolt PP and a lot of roars. And Jirachi has a lot of wishes still. So do just heal up the Swampert here. Okay, try to Sleep Talk a roar there, did not get it. Swampert's at full health. The Swampert last move has to be a refresh, right? Yeah, like maybe McMeghan can stall out the Zapdos, but it doesn't seem that likely to me. Especially because of pressure. Alright, do we see the Gengar? Do we see another Destiny Bond here? Nope. And Dice just Thunderbolts there. So if McMeghan had Destiny Bonded there, he probably would have won the game. Still wish. So Jirachi is just dead to a crit here. He has Protect, but he gets full paralyzed. And that Jirachi is now so low. It's gonna be hard for McMeghan to get it healed up now. You gotta get it in on a rest turn. Oh, but if he gets roared into the Jirachi there, it's so scary now for McMeghan. It's just so scary for McMeghan. We see a Thunderbolt there on the Swampert. It's slowly running out of Thunderbolts, so McMeghan's doing a good job of wasting that. And we see a roar into the Jirachi, it's so low. You just need to get a protect here, not get full paralyzed, right? You just switch it out. Wow. I guess McMeghan is counting on getting the Jirachi on a rest turn, but he has Lip Talk. Yeah, he still has Lip Talk, so like, I don't know. I feel like you just had to protect the Jirachi there and try your best to pray that you get the right moves. Don't get full paralyzed, get the protect, then the wish. It's looking rough now. That Zapdos is just huge threat from the get-go, and it's just proving so. This Swampert can force it to rest, but that doesn't even really matter here. I guess we don't really know the PP situation because of pressure stuff, but McMeghan doesn't have pressure, so the Zapdos stuff should be accurate. He tries to get the Jirachi back in on a turn that Zapdos does not Sleep Talk, so that was good. Sleep Talk rest, that's good, gets the wish, doesn't get the protect off here. You need to protect or get roared out. What? Why would you not go for the protect there? We're just like praying to get the roar back into Jirachi? I am so confused right now. He has protect, like he hasn't shown here, but there was one turn where the paralyzed Jirachi moved before the Zapdos and got full paralyzed. So that means he has protect. Oh wait, no, was it? Oh, maybe it was a turn where Zapdos used roar. So maybe it's not protect. Yeah, maybe I'm just being dumb here. Oh, and the Thunderbolt crit, that seals the game. I want to go back to the turn and see. Because that turn was huge, like... Oh yeah, the Zapdos used roar, so the Jirachi doesn't have protect. So what McMeghan was trying to do there was wish up, go into Gengar, and try to get the 50-50 roar and get Jirachi back in to get healed. And he didn't get it. This end game was so close, man. This entire series was so close. McMeghan says he misplayed there at the end. I am not even sure if he did. Wow, what an amazing match. And McMeghan says goodbye to the tournament. I think he was one of the favorites to win the entire thing on the predictions. So yeah, it's like goes home without anything. Amazing series. I'm glad I got to narrate this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow CALLOUS. That will be it from me today. Goodbye.